it's been tied for the worst year. I keep trying to forget about that day and I feel really sad about it. This just started blooming recently and it has so many flowers. I've been learning to make more things from scratch and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm more of a country girl. I'd rather have my space and not see my neighbors. Regardless, I am happy with the change and ultimately I think other people are too. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cara and today's video is going to be more of a traditional day in my life. I know that a lot of you said you missed these types of videos, so I thought I might as well film one. To be honest, I don't have a whole lot of interesting things happening today. It's going to be more of an at-home video, but I do have some things to update you on. First of all, I just got back from a listing appointment. About mid-October or so, I have a condo coming on the market. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath affordable condo near Asheville, and we don't have an exact list price or list date just yet, but keep your eyes out for the video tour of that coming out next month. Aside from that, I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about my channel name change. You may have noticed I'm no longer Asheville NC Living. I'm now Life in WNC. I'm really happy with this change. It seems like a lot of other people are too. I'll talk about why I did that and my reasoning and why I think it's a better fit. I'm not really sure what this video is going to entail, if I'm being honest, but we're just gonna take you along with me and see how it goes. I was just munching on a granola bar for breakfast, but I think I'm going to make beans on toast for lunch. It's actually something we've made for years and years, though we haven't made it anytime recently. It's actually a English breakfast and it's basically toast. I made some homemade bread a few days ago, so we have that, and then you saute up some tomatoes, white beans, I think there's like basil in there, some mushrooms, and it's really, really tasty. So gonna whip that up and first gonna clean up the kitchen a little bit. But I also just wanted to mention a couple random things. You guys probably know that over the past, I'd say, year and a half, I've been working on learning more about self-sufficiency. I make my own bread now. We started a patio garden this year, and I made candles last year as well. I don't think I ever showed that on this channel, but I've been learning to make more things from scratch and I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait to do more and more of this. And last week I made my own laundry detergent and it has been working really well. Let me show that to you guys. Welcome to the laundry room. I thought I'd show you. So I've been making this homemade laundry detergent and I've used it probably like 10 times or so at this point, and it works really, really well. The ingredients are super, super simple. I'll read you what they are in case you want to make it yourself. But it's basically half a cup of Epsom salt, 1.5 cups of baking soda, 1.5 cups of washing soda, which I don't remember the exact definition, but I'll put it up here somewhere on the screen. And then 1/4 cup of sea salt. The blog post where I got this from also mentioned that you can add in essential oils like orange or, you know, something like that. She said that orange helps her white stay whiter and helps with stains, I believe, as well. But I didn't add any into this batch because I just wanted to see if the laundry would smell clean, quite frankly, because I wasn't really convinced that this would work because the ingredients are so simple. They are really inexpensive, and I thought if this works, that's gonna be really good. But I wanted to basically smell if the laundry came out clean, and it does. I've been using it for like a week or two at this point and I love it. I basically just, I need a better container, by the way. This is just like an old Chinese container. I need like an official glass one, but I put everything in a bowl, mix it up, poured it in here, and then I just use a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is enough for any standard load of laundry. You can do 2 tablespoons if you have like a heavily soiled load of laundry or like a larger one. But that's my little tidbit of advice for self-sufficiency with your laundry room. Right now I'm gonna go clean up this mess here in the kitchen and then we'll get to making some lunch. beans on toast is coming along nicely. I have everything in the pan here. As you saw, I've been sauteing the tomatoes, garlic, mushrooms with a little bit of olive oil, and then I just added 1 can of cannellini beans, although I used Great Northern beans, which are very similar and actually more nutritious, I've heard. So I added a can of those, a can of coconut milk, and 2 teaspoons of paprika, and then some salt and pepper. So just gonna let this simmer, reduce down a little bit more, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna rinse some blueberries and just kind of talk to you guys about some other stuff that's been going on. I've had this like huge container, I think it was like 2 pounds or something. Yeah, 2 pounds of blueberries, and I actually have another 2-pound pack in the fridge. And this one is the older one, so I have to go through it because there's some that aren't as good. I'm gonna be making some blueberry jam. I have never made that before, but I've always wanted to. Blueberries are probably my favorite fruit, I would say. At least berry-wise they are. So I thought that while I go through these, I'll just chat to you guys a little bit of what's been going on in my world, because I don't really do that a whole lot anymore on this channel. I tend to just talk about real estate, housing market update videos, things like that. And the reason I haven't been filming as many vlogs this year is because this year has really sucked. Like nothing this year has really gone to plan at all. We thought this would be the best year. This would be the year we've been working up to for decades, and it would be where our dreams actually become reality, and it would be like the best year ever, and it's been tied for the worst year. There's a bunch of reasons. I mean, one of them is that real estate has just been totally dead for pretty much everyone. Like nationally, the real estate market is really suffering. So that means obviously my income goes down. I've still been working, still been making some videos and putting myself out there, trying to get more clients. But that's been a big downer because at the end of this year, we had planned to start looking for a property for ourselves, but it doesn't really seem like that's happening. Ian has just been working on his master's in accounting. He plans to be a CPA and get a CPA license and everything. So we basically been living off of one income, which is mine, which is, to be completely transparent, like 25% of what I made last year, hoping for maybe a third of what I made last year, which really sucks. On top of that, as you guys know, or you might know, we got married earlier this year. That was a train wreck in my opinion. I keep trying to forget about that day, and I feel really sad about it because it's supposed to be like the best day of your life, and it was definitely not that for me. If you're curious of some of the things that went wrong, I did post a video prior to the wedding of all the things that were going sideways. I'll link it up here if you're curious. It rained the whole time, so therefore we didn't get the mountain view that we hoped for. My best friend from college wasn't able to make it because his car broke down. And this was a little elopement. If you're not familiar with, you know, kind of what we did, we were planning to just have an elopement, the two of us, and then the next day have like a big, not big, but like 18-person party. But 4 people ended up canceling. 2 of them got sick, 2 of them were having this car issue. And it just rained the whole time. I had this dream of having an outdoor dinner with like string lights and a farmhouse table and music and everything, and it just ended up being a random dinner in a dining room of like the 3rd house that we ended up booking. So it just wasn't great. And on top of all that, I had like anxiety the whole time. I was not able to sleep. I wasn't really sure why. Like, I never have sleeping problems. Our honeymoon is coming up in like 3.5 weeks. Fingers crossed that goes well. We're going to New England for 2 weeks to basically see the fall colors. We're going to be in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So that should be fun, hopefully. But yeah, I don't want to just basically spend this video complaining. But my point being, I feel like I haven't had anything like positive to share and talk about. So I haven't really been filming much. I've honestly just been kind of depressed this year. But hoping that things turn around at some point. yeah. Lunch will be ready momentarily, and I'll probably eat lunch out on the patio and show you a little garden update. Our garden has been doing pretty well, I would say. We never got any cucumbers. I learned too late in the process that it's better to self-pollinate them with like a Q-tip, which I didn't know, and I just tried that for the first time like 3 weeks ago maybe, but it's already September, and I did notice one was starting to grow, but the weather's starting to cool off. We're gonna be going away for 2 weeks in a few weeks, and I think we're not gonna get any cucumbers. We have gotten some cherry tomatoes, and the flowers are doing well. And the mint and lemon thyme, that's doing pretty well too. It's a bit in like disarray because everything kind of overgrew. The tomato plants grew much larger than we thought they were going to, but that's okay. They're just kind of hanging all over everything at this point. So just gonna finish going through some of these and then get lunch. Updated you guys on this in a little while. A lot has changed since the last time I showed you any clips of this, and like I was saying earlier, it got a little bit unruly. Some of it's kind of dying off at this point because it is now September and it's getting a little bit cooler, and I think some of these just aren't meant to last all that long. But let me show you what things are looking like. So this is what our patio garden has become. I'll start here with the black-eyed Susan. I feel like this is looking the best. This just started blooming recently and it has so many flowers. Very, very pleased with that. Let's go over here. So lavender officially died. I've been honestly trying to revive this thing for a few years and it just completely said no. This did have 2 lettuces in it, but we waited a little bit too long to harvest them and they got a little bit like tough, but it did actually grow lettuce. And then this tomato, this was the Tommy Toe tomato. This one grew super high, literally like all the way up here. But then pieces started breaking off. We had to trim him back, and then he kept growing that tall, so we just let him go sideways. And there's a lot of tomatoes here, as you can see. We have like a clump of, this is like a clump of 10. This is a clump of, I don't know, like 8 or something. More growing up here. This lettuce, as you can see, we also kind of let that go and it just bolted. But more tomatoes, so we're hoping that they become red before the plant gives up. Our straw flower, these flowers are older at this point, but it did really well. It did bloom quite a bit. You could see a bunch of the blooms. Then our cucumber, it really tried. It put out tons of flowers. You can see them all over here. Tons of flowers, but no cucumbers. The lemon thyme, I honestly need to water this. It is a bit dry, but that was doing pretty well. The mint, that was doing pretty well as well. This other cucumber, very similar to the other one. However, you can see it does look like one little cucumber is growing. So we'll see if we can get one out of this thing. And then the honey drop tomato, this one has done quite well. We got a bunch of tomatoes off of this one and they were very, very tasty. You could see it's growing more over here, some up in here, and then I thought there was, yeah, there's another bunch hanging out there. And then this lettuce, we also just let go and he just grew way tall. That's it for the garden update. I'm gonna go ahead and eat that beans on toast that you saw, and then I'll work on that blueberry jam. Blueberries are cooking away on the stove. Like I said, I don't really have a recipe that I'm going off of for this, but I had roughly 6 cups of blueberries and I put in 1 cup of coconut sugar and I think I did 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So we'll see how this turns out. I figured I could always add more sugar if I want, but I did want this to be like low sugar. A lot of times when we buy jams or jellies, we just buy like ones with no added sugar. So I don't know. I thought these could probably use a little bit of something though. So we'll see how that turns out in a little bit, but I thought now would be a good time to sit down and chat to you guys a little bit more. So as I mentioned earlier, I recently changed my channel name from Asheville NC Living to Life in WNC, It's actually something I wanted to do for a long time. I didn't have another name picked out, which is part of what took so long. But when I first moved to the Asheville region, like 4.5 years ago at this point, I just thought, Asheville and Sea Living or something with Asheville in the name would make the most sense. But after living here for a while, I noticed that Asheville is so different from the surrounding areas, and there's a little bit of a stigma to just the word Asheville. I posted a YouTube short about this, basically the stigma around Asheville, and asking people their opinions. I don't think I got a whole lot of comments on the YouTube video, but there were like tons, like hundreds of comments on the TikTok version of that. So it was very interesting to hear other people's insights, and honestly, it was pretty much what I have noticed as well. I feel like having the name Asheville really limited me, and I'm guessing that some people that maybe were interested in Hendersonville or Waynesville or somewhere else would see Asheville and think, oh, she just works in Asheville, or she's like the people in Asheville or something, and I'm not going to work with her because she's just Asheville focused. So I thought that if I changed my name to Life in WNC, it would kind of widen my little YouTube world, so to speak. So, I mean, personally, I currently live like on the outskirts of Asheville, but I don't plan to buy a home in Asheville. I definitely want to be more in the country. I've spoken about that in past videos. I'm more of a country girl. I'd rather have my space and not see my neighbors have a little homestead. I like that lifestyle so much more. I've never been a city person, and I just get along with the people out there anyways. All that being said, I wanted to change my YouTube name to Life in WNC, and so I'm curious too if you have been watching my channel for a while, or maybe you're new, whatever your situation is, I'm curious what your impression is and was. So, if you found me when I was Asheville and Sea Living, did you see that and think, that I'm just Asheville focused? I'm curious. Regardless, I am happy with the change, and ultimately, I think other people are too. It seems to have been received pretty well on all my social media platforms. And yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm excited to see how this channel grows and, changes over the years, but I'm liking the new name. So I don't really feel like there's a whole lot else to update you guys on. Like I said, I'm not just going to sit here and complain about the year I've had. Hasn't been the best year, which is why I haven't filmed as much, but I don't know, maybe I'll pick up the camera every now and then and just film my thoughts for you guys, and I like it because it allows me to connect more with you, and that's something I have been missing. I just haven't known what to film. But if you enjoyed this cozy at-home type of content, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything particular you'd like me to film, I'm always open to that. And I think that's about it for today's video. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.